the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me.
Hello, Miami. You're watching 305 Sports Now. This is 305 Live, and we're doing some fight talk today. Yes, a fight talk. It's been a while since I've done a little MMA banter, and we are waiting soon for our guest to come on. He is the glorious one, the Puerto Rican sensation, up-and-coming MMA fighter, Christian Esquilin. He'll be on in about a minute. He just got home. He texted me from training, and he will be fighting this Friday. Okay, this Friday evening over for Cage Fury. Okay, guys, it's Cage Fury. It's going to be a knockout, drag-out brawl between him and his opponent. Well, if you ask him, he's going to wipe the floor with his opponent. So that's what we really want to see out of Chris. Now, the interesting part is that I've been following his career from a very long time when he was fighting over at 305 Fights TV. So it's been great. So I'm just waiting. So what's going to happen is that when he comes on, again, we'll do some catching up with him. We'll do some catching up as far as it goes, and then he'll tell us a little bit about his training, and then he'll tell us about what Cage Fury is and a little bit about his opponent. He's always got a nice little gift of gab when it comes to that, and then we'll close out the evening. So guys, check it out, man. Cage Fury. I'm sure he'll promote it big time and let us know where he can find it over this upcoming weekend. Actually, it's actually on UFC Fight Pass. Okay, UFC Fight Pass. You should be able to watch that event this Friday night, October 10th. Okay, so I'm really excited about it. So again, we are waiting for him as well. Yeah, like I said, I started following his career early on when I first started covering 305 fights as well. He is a very determined, devoted young man. Okay, he fought with the Young Tigers, still keeps in touch with the Tigre, one of the most prominent MMA coaches in the South Florida area as well. This young man has excellent striking. He has excellent striking. He also has a very good ground game as well. As a well-polished athlete as well, very articulate, knows how to hype up a fight as well as we wait for him to come on. So first things foremost, guys, I just want to say thank you all for your support of the new logo. I really appreciate the love I've gotten in terms of logo. Again, got to change things up a little bit as well, and also the new intro as well. Very happy about that, as well as trying to change things around here in 305 Sports Now. Some upcoming things that are going to be going on is next week. I will be back on with Q. And we'll be doing a bit of our take. We'll be talking about Louisville as well, and I'll be doing a special since we have a bye week with the Canes called Mario Cristobal, Building an Empire. And he is joining us. He just walked into this, literally hopped into the studio here, is the glorious one, all right, the king of Puerto Rico, Mr. Christian Esquilin. Man, what's up, man? How's it going?
How we doing? It's good to be here.
Good, man. Good, man. How was training? I know you just got home. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, of course. I love to train, man. I love to work hard. So anytime I get the opportunity to get better, it's a good day.
Yeah, I gotta ask you a question though. Did you have your Coca-Cola?
No, I can't. I'm cutting weight right now. I gotta keep.
Okay.
I gotta keep it cool, but believe me, after I step foot on that scale and make weight, I'll be Coca-Cola City.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I know you like it, man. I know you like it. I like your little shirt. Let me ask you a question though. Like with I just found this out recently. Since you're a Coke guy, I didn't know that the bottles are cane sugar. Is that the one you drink, or you drink the regular can with the processed crap?
I'm not gonna lie. I used to really only like the bottles.
Okay.
I'm not really picky. I'll take either one.
That's great. Well, that's great. Well, the last time we spoke with you, you had an upcoming fight and you housed it, right? You got a victory out of it. You kept your word. You took care of your opponent. Yeah, of course, And but one thing I've noticed about you is I do follow you on social media. You train really, really hard. So, has your training regimen changed? I know you're cutting weight, so are you trying to find in a lower weight class for this upcoming Friday, or you just try to cut weight to make weight?
No, the training regimen. It's funny you say that because when I have a couple, I got other like amateur fighters. They ask me kind of same thing, and for me, it's just all about consistency. Like you have to show up every day. Obviously each day looks different, but also like I said, I love I love to train. I'm very lucky to be able to do what I do, and I don't really look at it. I know some guys may be like, "Damn, I got to go train today or this," but I love it. So you feel yourself getting better, and if you really want to be the best, then I don't know why you want to love to train. For this fight, it's at 145. I haven't fought at 145 in like I'd say 2 years, but it's not because of lack of trying. It's just not everybody's willing to step up to the plate. But that's the one place I can commend my opponent is that he's willing to step in there. So I'm excited to be able to make 45. That's my actual weight class. Whenever I fight at 55, that's like pretty much what I walk around at. So now it's I'm fighting guys that are more my size. So I'm very excited.
I've seen you recently train with Young Masters owner Enrique Tigre. And so I was wondering if you're training with him more on a regular basis, or you're just working on your striking with him.
Yeah, Tigre's been my coach pretty much my whole career. He's
Okay.
like a father figure to me. I um, when I go to fight, I not only am I representing Puerto Rico and I representing my family, but I'm also representing El Tigre because of how much belief that he has in me. Um, with striking, that's where I train. Most of my game is at Young Tigers with Tigre, but
Mhm.
aside from that, I train at Alpha Miami with the Saints family, Coach Carlos and Mike, Tristan, Chingy, all those guys. They're the best. They're genuinely no one better in the world at jiu-jitsu than them. So I have the utmost confidence in what I do because of who I train with and how hard I train.
Yeah. Aside from jujitsu and of course the striking element today, are you adding more? Are you adding a bit more? I mean, I know you know how to wrestle, but are you adding a bit more wrestling into your repertoire, or are you sticking more with the jujitsu, or are you trying to be a little bit balanced on three levels?
Well, I always think it depends on what type of style you want to have for one. I think if you want to be a striker, then obviously, okay, you should not necessarily focus more on striking, but more than likely you're probably going to train striking more than anything. For me, I like to dominate. That's all I want to do. So whoever it is that I'm fighting, whether it's this opponent or the next opponent, I try to train every area so I can be a champion. I don't feel. I mean, we see it a lot in the UFC where guys are really good strikers and then they go up against a guy who's a really good wrestler and he just ragdolls them.
Hmm.
And by then it's too late, to start doing your jiu-jitsu or doing your wrestling. So I look to negate any possibility for my opponents to ever look good, like before the fight even starts.
How much film watching do you do a bit prior to a fight?
I, I don't not watch film, but I don't think um, it's the most important thing because obviously, fights happen and time passes, people change, they work on different things. I think it's good to watch a little bit on your opponent, maybe his most like recent fight that he has, just so you can kind of get an idea of what he's going to do. But for me, for example, my last fight was about a year ago, and you could watch that fight and take some stuff away. But like if I had to fight that version of myself, I would absolutely dog walk him. So
Okay.
time changes all. So I think it's not good to get too caught up in really anything that your opponent is doing or has done. It's not about them for me. It's always about myself. I truly believe it's whoever they put me in there with, I can do what I have to do. So I don't think it's good to be like, oh, he's a wrestler. Let me not work on my game and only work on wrestling defense because then that changes your style entirely. So you have to remain, true to your style and just train hard enough to where you'll be able to handle whatever situation comes up in the fight.
Yeah, you recently mentioned that you're cutting weight. Well, you are natural 145. You were telling me, but how difficult is it for a fighter during that time period, in terms of the weight cutting, in terms of your nutrition, how much water you take in as well, just to make weight for weigh-ins to make sure you qualify for the match.
I mean, everybody's different. Some guys they cut like 20 pounds and they kill themselves. But I've never liked cutting weight, but I've gotten. I take what I do very seriously. This is professional now. I don't look at it as a part time hobby or anything like that. I'm very regimented, very on track. Essentially, what you do is you just water load you drink a couple gallons of water, a little like 5 or 6 days out before the weigh-in, and then you gradually cut that amount of water down. You cut out salt, cut out sugars and carbs, just anything that will like retain water. For me though, I feel great. I feel like $1,000,000 right now. I know some guys might be a little bit worse for wear when they start cutting weight, but sharp as a tack right now. I feel this is probably the best weight cut I've ever had.
Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. We're going to get a word from our sponsor, Fan Outfitters. And then when we come back, we're going to go over how many promotions Chris has been with in the last year or so, and a little bit about Cage Fury as well. And then later on, a little bit about his opponent as well. So stay tuned, guys, for a word from Fan Outfitters. Miami. I am proud to announce that Fan Outfitters is the official sponsor of 305 Sports Now. With locations in Pembroke Pines, Davie, and Kendall, you can find the latest gear and accessories for all your favorite South Florida teams. Teams like your Miami Hurricanes, your Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers, Miami Dolphins, Miami Heat, Inter Miami, Miami Marlins, and many, many more. So if you ever find yourself in the Pembroke Pines area, Davie, or Kendall, please stop by Fan Outfitters, the official sponsor of 305 Sports Now. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you're ever in the Kendall area, Pembroke Pines area, or Davie area, please visit Fan Outfitters. They have everything from Miami Hurricanes gear, Miami Dolphins gear, Miami Heat gear, Florida Panthers gear, Miami Marlins gear. Heck, they even have FIU as well. So you can find anything you want inside of Fan Outfitters, including accessories like coffee thermoses, mugs, etc. You guys know the deal. So please visit Fan Outfitters, the official sponsor of 305 Sports Now. You like Coke, I like coffee. So
I've been working on it actually. I've grown to like coffee a lot more. I used to be like a Celsius guy, but now I'm switching to just the cafecito, straight up.
Yeah, I totally. Oh, so you do like Cuban coffee then?
Oh yeah, I love it. I don't think you could live in Miami and not like it. You know, it's a little crazy.
Right? You know, exactly. I was actually when I was at the gym one day, I was speaking with Mike Rump. He used to play for the Canes, and he works at the U right now, and he says that's his pre-workout.
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah. I pretty much do the same thing before I go to training. I'll make a cup of coffee and then I'll head out. You know, it's good.
That's all. No, it definitely is. It definitely is. You're Puerto Rican, so do you guys drink cafecito, like a version of it as well, or is it like in Colombia they call it a tinto?
No, I mean in Puerto Rico they do have like just cafecito, but we mainly drink café con leche.
Café con leche, okay.
Don't get me wrong, I love a good café con leche, but you can't just pound those back as much as you can have.
Yeah, café con leche, man, is a total Caribe thing, bro.
Yeah.
We all have to.
I the first time I had it, it was like, whole world changed. But.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Chris, like I was saying before the break, I was saying that I've been watching every single time you're at an event or doing an event or fighting a promotion. I feel like you've been in a couple promotions since the last time we spoke, which is nearly a year ago. How many fights have you been in? In between say 2024 and 2025.
I mean, 2024. I since then I think I've only had my two pro fights.
Okay.
Those were hard enough to get opponents and get through the promotion. It was good promotion. The people that were running it, shout out to them. But since then, I've had a couple fights fall through. I was supposed to fight back in August. That whatever happened with that guy happened with that guy. It's in the past. But
okay.
I believe it or not, actually, after my last fight, I kicked this dude in the head so hard I tore like 4 ligaments in my foot. So I was out for I think like 3 months or so, and then that was the beginning of this year. And then I was gonna fight in August. That fell through, but now we're here. Like I said, that's the only thing I'll give my opponent credit for is the fact that he accepted the fight and he still hasn't pulled out. Other than that, I'm sorry for what I have to do to him, but it is the game. It is the game.
That's awesome. Well, I have a couple questions. You're fighting this Friday, over in on October 10th, in an event called Cage Fury, a promotion called Cage Fury. I thought it was pretty interesting. You need a UFC fight pass as well. Is this like the period before you jump into the big leagues with the UFC, or is this a subsidiary of UFC that they just own it? Like, how does that
I
how's
mean,
it
kind
managed?
of like both. It's like I'd say there's different like tiers of professional promotions. You know, like there's the local ones, and then the regional ones, and then the UFC or Bellator or whatever. This would be in the regional scene. Just it's a very well-known promotion. There's a lot of guys that have come from this promotion that were in the UFC. I think there's a couple guys that are fighting tonight on the Contender Series that are from this promotion as well. Uh, I I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity, but at the same time, I deserve to be here more than anybody else. You know, I've worked harder than harder than I could even explain into words, and I am more confident in myself than the sky is blue. So I'm grateful for the opportunity, but I will make the most of it, and believe me on that. You know, I think it's a really good show. I think a lot of guys kind of get caught up in the fact that it is like a bigger show, or you know, it is on UFC Fight Pass. And as cool as that is to me, you know, I definitely acknowledge that. I'm not ignoring that, but when I started this journey 6 or so years ago, my goal wasn't just to get on UFC Fight Pass. You know, it was to be the UFC champion. I I look at this. I'm not overlooking this in any way, but I look at this as just another step in my path.
We definitely have a new fan. This is Anthony from Talking Game, the Talking Game podcast. See, actually, check out his stuff. He'll be on next week.
Yeah,
You on our take as we break down Miami versus Louisville. So he'll be making his 305 Sports Now debut. This is Anthony
nice.
from Talking Game. Please like and subscribe to his pod. Thanks for your support, champ.
Yeah, if you're looking for someone to be a fan of, you picked the right guy.
I love your showmanship, man. It's absolutely awesome. Yeah, man. Hey, listen, it's entertaining, dude. I mean,
No, yeah, I mean,
it
it's
absolutely is.
about selling fights. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
at that point, like, for me, it's just, I always look at it like these people that buy tickets or these people that, you know, pay for UFC Fight Pass, right? I'm a fan of fighting first and foremost before anything. And I don't want to see a guy fighting who has the personality of, you know, somebody that I'll just walk by in a grocery store. You know what I mean? Like, you want to have somebody that you know, can get behind and really support, and that goes hand in hand with just how you are personality wise and also how you fight. You know, I think some guys have it a little twisted. You know, they might talk a good game, but then they get in the cage and, you know, God help them. But I truly, the confidence I have comes from the work that I put in and the
Yeah.
belief that I have in my skill set.
Yeah. No, like I said, I've seen you fight in person. You're a beast, bro. Like you really absolutely are, man. You really are a beast, man. I'm very proud of you. And again, I feel very privileged that your dad, contacted me to do this interview, which shows
No,
that
no,
there's a lot of trust there too. So
you
I'm really
were
happy about it.
like the first person, other than I think 305, but you were like the first person that wanted to reach out and do an interview with me. So I can't ever forget when I'm in the UFC, we'll still be doing the 305 Sports Now.
Thanks, I really appreciate it, man. That's awesome to hear, man. Thank you so much for
Of
your
course.
trust and your humility as well. I really appreciate it.
Thank
So I really do hope you take you kick butt on Friday evening, man. I hope
you.
you take care of
It's
business.
already done. It's already done. All I have, I put in the work. You know, in training, the fight is won in training. I just have to go in there, step on the scale, and get my hand raised. That's the
That's
way I
awesome.
see it.
Any word on your opponent? Anything that we should know about as fight fans? That you want to talk about? Some skill sets that he may have that you're ready for him in certain circumstances. Anything you want to talk about, or it's just nah? Well, I'm just gonna take his head off.
Yeah. Hit the nail right on the head with that one.
Was he a striker? Is he like a wrestler? Is he jiu-jitsu, a little bit of both? A Muay Thai? Anything? Boxer? I don't know. You see? Tell
I
me anything.
mean, if I had to say something, I'd probably say he's like just an all around MMA guy. You know,
Okay.
like jack of all trades, master of none type of deal.
Okay.
Which I mean that works against people, but I think a lot of people have the idea that I'm only a striker, and like I have no grappling or whatever the case is. I whatever the idea people have about me, whether it's good or bad, I will far exceed that in this performance. Just with, like I said, it goes back to the work at the end of the day. He is. They told me he's something. He's a judo like white belt or judo blue belt, whatever. I don't know, something in judo, and that's cool, But we don't wear a gi. We don't do judo, So it changes the game. I'm sure he'll have his opportunities to do whatever it is that he's trying to do, but I have been game planning hard enough. I already know what he is looking to do, and I'm going to shut that down. My style of fighting is whatever that you're trying to do, we're going to make sure that does not happen. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and just tee off,
Well, that was George St. Pierre's strategy for many years. People called it boring, but he won a lot of fights and won a lot of titles for a reason.
Yeah.
If you're a striker, he took you to the ground. If you're a ground guy, he kept you upright. So I think that's the best way to take on your opponent.
You're a football guy. Vince Lombardi says you play to win the game.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I at the end of the day, and don't get me wrong, man. When I get in there, it's fireworks. I don't let any of these people think that's going to be a boring fight. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is winning, right? And when people are looking at your record, whether it's a week after the fight or however long, all they see is that win or loss. They don't see, oh, like this guy thought it was a boring fight. This guy thought it was a great fight. It doesn't matter. It's the wins and losses. And as an amateur, okay, yeah, it doesn't really matter as much. But when this is a professional thing, this is food on your table. This is opportunities. So winning is everything. And for me, it's not that my only focus is to go out there and win. What I'm thinking when I fight is to go out there and perform at my highest capability every second of the fight. The fight is made up of however many seconds, right? If I'm able to perform at my best every second of the fight, it's genuinely not possible for me to lose, So I don't think about it like I need to go out there and win or I can't lose, I think I need to perform at the highest level. I need to perform at what I do, just be present, be calm, and go out there and make it happen.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely will. After this event, after Friday, after you get your hand raised, what's next? What's next for you as far
I'm
as like,
actually
fighting goes?
I'll be fighting in Richmond, Virginia in November. So we're trying to get in. I wasn't able to fight that much at the beginning of the year, so I'm trying to get in 4 or 5-0 by the end of the year, so that I can not necessarily take it easy next year, but I won't have to fight like every super often. We have our plan in mind. We have what we're going to do to get to the Contender Series or to just straight into the UFC, whatever it is. And I have confidence and I have no worries because one, it's in my hands. There's a lot of things. It's very easy to get caught up and worry about, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? But it hasn't happened. There's a lot of things that have to happen before even this fight. So I just remain as present as I can and keep the same attitude in terms of training and in terms of just wanting to be the best. That's really what drives me. Is just I truly want to be the best, and I don't see many people that have the confidence to even say that, but two, the very few people that do, they're not really putting in the work. Like after this fight, will be fighting in November in Richmond, Virginia. That's going to be back home, not back home, but I'm from Virginia and my family's there, so it's way closer than anywhere in Florida. But I'm very excited for that. It will be the first time I fought in Virginia since I think like 2019 or so.
That's awesome. You brought something up because you're fighting in October. Then you said you're going to Virginia to fight in November. My co-teacher, he's a former Golden Glove boxer, and in our conversations, yeah, he's a beast. One of the things we talked about is that when you're kind of starting out and you're kind of developing a reputation, it's kind of important to have as many fights under your belt. And then when you become more established, like we just talked about, like a GSP or even back in the day, Rampage Jackson, you kind of stretch yourself, in terms of taking time off and just training as well. So I want to ask you, in the MMA world, is it the same concept that when you're in the beginning, you take whatever fight you can get to build a record, build a reputation?
Oh, yeah.
The same way?
It's the exact same. It's like,
okay.
Yeah, it's the exact same. What some people forget is, it's a business at the end of the day. Like when you're an amateur, yeah, you need to take just any fight. Obviously, like if the guy's 10-0 and it's your debut, like that's not the best fight. But as an amateur, like You just need to get in there and get as much experience and get as comfortable as you can in the ring. Once you go pro, though, it changes, because it's especially in boxing. In boxing, if you lose your O, like you're old news. No one cares. So you have to be really smart about, when you're fighting or who you're fighting. You have to pick the time so you're not like too overtrained or you don't have an injury or anything like that. Um, Now I think I've put in a lot of work. My amateur record, speaks for itself, and up till now. So, like I said, I understand. Like when these guys don't want to fight me, it's not like I'm like what. Like no, I totally get it. Like I'm glad I'm me, and I don't have to fight me. So once you get a little bit higher, though, people they see your record and they have experiences as well, and they just don't care. They think they're better, whatever it is, and that's when you start getting those fights that are a little bit more high level. Like the better guys that I spar, it's always a way slower pace because we both have so much respect for each other. When you're fighting a guy that or sparring a guy like has no business being there with you, it's you're gonna push the pace on him and do a lot of crazy stuff. It's the same thing in the fight. Like you have to be at a level where you're comfortable, but also you have enough experience to where if you are fighting a guy that puts you in a negative position, that's fine. Like you can deal with that. You have the skill set to be able to do what you have to do.
Chris, thank you so much for joining us tonight. A wonderful conversation, as always, with the glorious one,
Thank you.
Christian Esquilin. Yeah, absolutely. Let us know the location of the fight, where we can find the fight online. I know we just saw UFC Fight Pass, and again, where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, we'll be in Tampa, Florida, at the Tampa Convention Center, live on UFC Fight Pass. If you're tuning in for my fight, don't blink. Make sure you're paying attention. And that's pretty much it, man. It's been an honor to talk to you. I appreciate your time. I almost I wake up in the morning thinking about this fight and I just start shaking and screaming. I'm so excited, So it's not even about my opponent or anything to do with him. It's just the opportunity to get to show the world, how hard I've been working and just how good I am. I watch these UFC fights. I watch other regional promotion fights, and I see the guys that they're like, oh, this guy's good, and I'm like, just wait, my
That's awesome. All right, Chris, thank you so much for joining me again here on 305 Sports Now. You're always welcome to come on. If you have a fight, you don't have a fight, you just want to talk MMA, you're always welcome to come on as well, man. Very, very happy to have you on. Say hello to your dad for me. All right, Jose's a really cool guy. So I'm gonna say what's up in general. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, again, the glorious one, Christian Esquilin. If you're not in the Tampa area, near the Tampa Convention Center, check out the UFC Fight Pass and watch him do his thing as the glorious Puerto Rican Christian Esquilin.
That's the
Ladies and
goal.
gentlemen, of course. If you like what you heard, see a little different. Okay, I'll give you a lot of football. I threw in the MMA now. If you like what you heard, please do not forget to like and share 305 Sports Now. Once again, for Christian Esquilin, I am Will. Have a good day, good evening. Actually, God bless. See you soon. Bye, bye, everybody.